Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Norristown High School for tonight's basketball game between the Wissahickon Trojans and the Norristown Eagles. I'm Greg Fry, and I'm joined here, special guest tonight, coach of the girls varsity basketball team here at Norristown High School, Coach Roger Jackson. Welcome to the broadcast tonight.
Thank you very much, Greg. How are you this evening?
I'm doing all right. It's a pleasure to have you here. We're going to run down the starters for you real quick. For Wissahickon, Walt Childs, Jeff Bond, Matt Brady, Earl Stout, and Drew Moyer. The same five for Norristown as usual: Green, Allen, Wiggins, Weldon, and Fowler. We're ready for the tap tonight. Controlled by 54, Drew Moyer. Loose, and Weldon comes out with it. Green now, Norristown with numbers. Feeds Wiggins, the pump fake, and one. Eric Wiggins, good strong two right there. He'll go to the line. Coach, you've seen this basketball team play a few times this year. What do you like about them? What makes them so successful?
I think it's the athleticism. All five kids on the court can run the floor. Two, they just have a winner's attitude. They come out on the court expecting to win, and that carries you a far way.
Wiggins makes the foul shot. Norristown, 14 seconds in, up 3-0. Showing a full court press now, trying to pressure Wissahickon into a mistake. Childs the long baseball feed. Three-pointer from Stout, no good. Matt Brady, a good strong rebound there.
And you see Norristown's in their man-to-man defense.
Of a walk there from Drew Moyer. Getting back to that man-to-man defense. A very athletic team like Norristown can really hang with some very good players in this league, including somebody who's scouted by Division I schools all over the place, Matt Carroll from Hepburn Horsham.
Yeah, that was an outstanding game. They played the first game of the season, and I believe the rematch is going to be a humdinger.
Next week against Friday night, we'll be bringing it to you here from Norristown High School. Allen for three, and it's good. Maurice Allen, three from the corner, 6-0, 1 minute in. The coach, let's talk about your team a little bit. Couple of woes this year for your team, but still, you have to be happy with the way they've been playing last couple of weeks. They seem to be getting better on the court.
Oh yeah, certainly it's been a rebuilding year, but certainly we actually have an opportunity to win more games this year than we won last year, and you can't ask for more than that during a rebuilding year.
Norristown back the other way. Green tried to feed inside to Fowler or Allen. Stolen there by number 33, Earl Stout. Walt Childs now. The feed, the errant pass, but it's good. Jeff Bond, his first two of the night. Wissahickon, a minute and a half in, finally on the board, 6-2. Fowler the pump fake. Shot no good. Rebound to Drew Moyer. So the first couple minutes of this game, what do you see so far?
Well, I see Norristown not pressing as hard as they usually do. I know you've done so many games, you've really seen them turn up the pressure on the full court press. And they seem content to just bother them a little bit with the pressure and take what comes.
So now Weldon's going to get called for his first as Matt Brady, strong rebound there.
Weldon, his first team first.
So how's it feel to watch a game from the other side of the court tonight instead of being over on that bench?
A lot less pressure.
And no towel tonight from Coach Jackson.
I'm really enjoying it. It's always a pleasure. I'm a fan of the game just as much as, Coach. I'm a real fan of the game. And I really enjoy getting to see the boys play. I mean, we have our job to do with the girls team, but it's always a pleasure to, when we have an afternoon game, to get back and see the boys play.
1 of 2 from Brady. Coach, this is your second year, correct?
Yes, first full season, but second year.
Walt Childs, the point guard for Wissahickon. Feed to Brady, back to Childs. Good movement there from Wissahickon. Childs in some trouble. Gets the ball to Stout. Childs for three. No good. Maurice Allen the rebound. He looks to push it up court. Norristown coming off of a 96-55 victory, an easy one against Upper Marion. Of course, Coach Jackson last night, his team 4-point victors over the girls team from Upper Marion as Allen, the jumper for 2.
Yeah, we were finally happy to match up the guys. We were only able to do that 3 times this year. Most of the time we have to rely on them to carry the school banner.
It was a nail-biter last night with 23 seconds left. They had the ball, and down by 2 with a chance to tie.
Yeah, but the girls really, hung together and matured rather quickly. This was really the first game we've had that's really gone down to the wire like that. We came out on the short end of 1 or 2 like that, and the other 2 victories really weren't that close at the end. But they pulled through. Some nervous moments. Need a few more tums for the remaining games, but they pulled through.
You can imagine if we're nervous over here, how nervous you must be on the bench.
Absolutely. You guys didn't look nervous at all.
We're professionals, They don't pay us to be nervous. They pay us to do our job.
All right.
And if you believe that, I'm telling you, you have a problem with you. Eric Wiggins, a great blocker right there. Back to action. Green the other way to Weldon. No good on the layup. Stolen there from Weldon. Good presence of mind from him. 2 points there, Brad Weldon.
Great hustle, great hustle.
And as a coach, that's one of the things you love to see, right? You miss the layup and you come back and have the presence of mind to grab a steal.
Yes, and to do it without fouling. A lot of times when players make mistakes, miss a layup or create a turnover, they try to get it back, but they usually end up fouling. And Wiggins was very calm that time. He picked the spot, and I'll tell you one thing against this boys team, you can't let up for a second while the clock's still running.
Alan Childs is first, team second.
We have a 20-second timeout. Walt Childs committed the foul there, his first. So 10-3 with 3:48 left in the first quarter. Norristown jumped out to a nice 7-point lead. We've seen them jump on teams early, and then teams, there's really no answer once you get down by more than 12 against this Norristown team. There's no chance of you coming back.
No, that's the thing I'm still waiting to see now, that explosion. The boys team hasn't had it yet, but every game, 1 or 2 times at different points, there's an absolute explosion, and they go on a 10-2, 12-2, 15-1 run, and really take control of the game.
Green now makes the first one from the line. Going to foul shots, and I know you probably wouldn't want me to bring this up tonight, but your team struggled a little bit from the line last night, and I know that just gives a coach just enough to give you a heart attack.
Yeah, well, we can bring it up since we won. I'd be a little more upset if we lost, but anytime you get foul shots, you have to convert them. Those and layups are, really the easiest parts of the game. Even though it's a 15-foot shot, foul shot is still the easiest shot because you get to put the ball exactly the way you want it in your hands. Nobody's jumping at you. Nobody's putting a hand in your face. And you have to knock it down when you get that opportunity. And we didn't do a great job of it last night, but, the bottom line, we got the W. So, while you can be upset, you can only be so upset. Now, if we'd have lost by 1, I wouldn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't still be living right now. This probably would have come over the table at me. Bond down to Childs. Swings it to Bond for 3. No good. The tap by Allen to Weldon. Out to Wiggins. An offensive foul on Walt Childs. He did a nice job of planting the feet there. Not a lot of people agreeing with that call. What did you think?
It's a close call. That's really been a point of emphasis this year with the officials, is the block charge, both in girls and guys basketball. Every year the officials have 1 or 2 points of emphasis in terms of refereeing the game, and this year the block charge is one of those points of emphasis. And, the team that gets the call for them in the block charge is happy, and the team that the block charge goes against is almost never happy.
Can't please everybody all the time, and a case of that there is Coach McGee was not happy. Stout, jumper good. Earl Stout with his first 2 of the night. 12-5 with just under 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Rob Vinson checked into the game for Wissahickon. Fowler inside. Turnaround no good. Rebound to Walt Childs. A bounce pass to Vinson. Underneath the basket. Won't go. Wiggins to Green. Norristown back the other way. The pace of this game has definitely picked up in the last couple of minutes.
Yes, it has. And again, you watch the Norristown boys, it again almost seems like the calm before the storm. You don't know when it's coming, but you can pretty much be assured that at some point during the game, that the explosion's going to come.
Allen off the dribble, jumper, no good. Rebound to Stout. Childs now all the way to the basket. Walt Childs, a good strong dribble up the court. He has 2 tonight, and it's a 5-point lead.
And this is important for this Wissahickon team, you know, to stay close in the first quarter, because a lot of times if you really just get hammered in the first quarter, you're pretty much sold for the game.
A 5-second violation right there on Wiggins, and Coach McGee going to call a timeout, maybe to settle his troops down a little bit. As Wissahickon, this last couple of minutes, has really started to dominate this game. And dominate is not a good word probably, because it never seems like a team's dominating against Norristown, but they have taken control a little bit, and Coach McGee just wanting to calm them down a little bit.
And, you know, and one of the tough things, when you're a team, you have as much talent as Norristown, and you've been winning a lot of games as easily as they have, you know, sometimes it's tough to get up for every challenge, and you kind of have to have a wake-up call sent during the game before you're really ready to get into the game. And, you know, it drives coaches crazy, you know, because we believe that when the ball's jumped up, you should be ready to go. But, you know, the reality is, especially when you're a real talented team and you've been winning easy, it takes a little more to kind of wake you up and really get you into the game.
The steal by Fowler. He'll go all the way to the basket and one. Foul there on the Wissahickon player. Nice job by Lee Fowler to use the body to shield it there. He'll go to the line for a chance to complete a 3-point play.
Strong move. Of course, all the fans wanted to see a dunk. But as long as it goes through the rim, it counts just the same.
And if you miss the dunk, you know you're going to get it from the coach.
Absolutely.
How important is it to really have a center in both girls and boys basketball in this league?
I think different coaches would have different philosophies on it. It certainly doesn't hurt if you have a strong inside player. But, you know, some well-coached teams really find a way to negate a center if they don't have a lot of size. And if the other players around them are not strong, you know, having a center is not that much of a benefit. I think one team is kind of finding that out this year. Penn Ridge Girls has a 6'3" center. And the supporting cast is not as strong as it's been in years past. And consequently, they're not doing as well as they've done in years past with that kind of size.
Well, we remember seeing her last year. She's a pretty physical player just as a freshman, and now she's a sophomore this year.
Yeah, well, actually, she's a junior this year.
Really? Okay.
But yes, and she had a very good supporting cast last year. It takes a little weight off, and it creates opportunities for them. If everybody in the gym knows that that's who you're going to and that's your only option, you know, no matter how big they are, it makes it a little tougher. And I think that's what really makes Lee Fowler really effective with this Norristown team, is that there are so many other weapons. You can't just collapse down on him, and he's so big that most people don't have a center to match up with him. So when he gets a one-on-one, he pretty much can have his way.
First Norristown substitution of the night. Well, we're going to have another one actually coming in. Milan Dean, the masked man, of course, with that broken nose that he suffered a few games ago. He'll come in, and so will Damian Solomon. 2 players out from Norristown will be Eric Wiggins and Brad Weldon.
I think Dick Vitale would say Milan is on his all-condominium team. He's a real high riser.
You want to give us your Dickie V impression, or do you want to save that for later on in the game?
I'll save that for later on. I'm a big Dickie V fan.
I don't think anybody in this world really isn't. So now Norristown up 17-7 with just under 1 minute left in the first quarter. And after a 40-point victory last night, as you said, Coach, it's tough to come out and really stay focused, but this is a team that's going to have to get focused this next week. They have 2 games at home here against Cheltenham on Tuesday, and then that rematch against Hatboro Horsham on Friday. 2 games that they're going to have to win if they want to make a statement in the state.
And to stay on top in the division. And, you know, that seeding is sometimes all important when you get into district and state playoff play.
Bond for 3, no good. Brady, strong rebound. Nice job there by Matt Brady. He came off the weak side and got a rebound there. No answer for him from Norristown. Green now back up the court. Time running out. Puts up the jumper, no good. So after 1 quarter, 17-9, the Wissahickon coaches have to be happy keeping it within 8 points in this first quarter.
Oh, absolutely. They withstood the early storm. And, you know, when a team can hang in a game, even if they're not expected to win, sometimes good things can start to happen. And if a team hangs around long enough, they really get the confidence that they can begin to win a game, or at least stay close enough to make it, a very respectable game. And sometimes there are victories and losses. And certainly if Wissahickon really doesn't feel as though they match up with Norristown, losing by less than what some of their opponents have lost to them, or maybe even only going down by 5 or 6 as Abington did, in itself can be a victory. A lot of coaches won't tell you that, and after the loss, they really don't want to hear that. But it really is true. There's something to be gained from losing pretty, almost to say.
And you will be surprised how many people actually do read the paper. When you open up the paper every morning, you see that Norristown, they won by 26 at home, and they went out on the road and won by 35. You come into the gym and you're thinking,